So, welcome to another game of AOC, and let's just speed this up right now. And this is a really interesting game, because I did say I was going to bring back some really old games, and show you guys some games that have been a long time ago. Well, I've not disappointed with this. This is from the 2002 WCG, the World Cyber Games Finals for Age of Conquerors. I think that's pretty amazing. So, there's one thing we can really talk about straight off the bat, is I'm sorry for the lack of videos recently. I've been working a lot. I've got to get myself to uni next year, and I'm probably going to pay for a lot of that. So there's nothing I can really do there, so I need the money. Nothing I can do. I've been trying to keep a video up every 2 days though, so I hope I haven't been disappointing too much. So, let's have a look who we've got. In the blue, playing as Hans, we have IamKen_TW. And in the red, we have Halen, again playing as Hans. So, something really interesting I want to note straight away. If you haven't ever heard of these players, you need to get on and listen and look them up now. I'm pretty sure there's some posts on AOC Zone about them, but they're really, really good players. Something interesting though that I should note, ball luring still being done. We still have how many villages? Let's check over here. 3 villages on wood. Then we have 3 to the berries. Still over here, only 2 farms. These guys led the way in AOC, really, if you think about it. The boars have been lured, the boars under the town centre, that one there, not so bad, of course. This one here again, not so bad. Of course, nowadays the standard level of plays are really high. If you have your boar outside the town centre, it can almost be seen, you can almost get called a noob for doing that, honestly. But remember, this was played in 2002, that's a decade ago. So, really interesting play styles that I've found in these. It's just amazing how many things are similar to what we still do today. There we go, 4 villages on berries, 3 still on wood, 2 on farms, both boars have been lured, another lumber camp up in the back. Again, it's just amazing, and there goes up the barracks as you're going up to the feudal age, of course, and of course having that unlimited population, well, limited at 200, but something really interesting. And going forward with these villages here, let's have a look at what you're after to Helen. Helen going up at 1020, quite a standard time. Let's check your population. What'd you go up on? Went up on 22 pop. That's exactly what we still see today. It's amazing. Stable is going up around, I believe this was around the stage where people first started really getting into using scouts. I don't think people were drushing much now at the moment, actually. Mostly, I think it just really transitioned into big scout plays, because I think lots of people were still using massive amount of skirmishes. So really, you needed to deal with those skirmishes. The best way to deal with them, scouts. Seems logical. So we did see now, we have got Halen moving forward, which is really interesting, picking off 3 wolves there, so some villages there being severely damaged, and there goes the archer range up there, quite forward. And this is something we seem to have lost as well. I think I overheard Dreams talk about this on his stream. If you watch a lot of old games that were like, I don't know how old, like 2004, 5, 6, all the way through to really 2008, there was a lot of really, really aggressive forwarding. Like, everything goes into it. They would drop down the double archery, even the stable would be forward. Sometimes you'd even see the forward barracks, and you'd see a drush come out of that on the forward. Then they'd whack up a tower, start getting that harassment in. They'd even drop their smith up, start, like these building, the stable would get walled in. It was absolutely crazy. But saying that, using the spearman here to put some pressure on, of course, mainly due to the fact that, well, he knows his opponents, well, he doesn't know his opponent's going for scouts, he doesn't know what his opponent's doing at all. He's seen 1 scout, but that's about it. Right now, let's have a look at the scouting for Kim. What do we got? I'm Ken. What are we up to? Nothing interesting. He knows where his opponent is, he knows what he's got about. He's seen the lumber areas, so he knows what he's after at this stage. Still getting some extra scouting with that spearman, of course. He is taking this palisade on this wolf. Could be trying to pick up that wolf, actually, and bring it into the town centre. And there's another one there, actually. Is he going to go for it? I think he's going to try and drop some wolves in right now. This could be really bad for IamKen, actually, right now, if these get dropped in. Halen, of course, having this area under control. He still hasn't seen these archery ranges over here, however, it looks like it's going to be pretty close. And there we go, seen the forward archery ranges right now. And the only problem about that is the skirmishes are already out. The tower is going up on the front there. And how many hit points does the spearman have? Yes, he is trying to lure those wolves in. Something really aggressive that you see a lot of, actually, in early games. Using the map completely to your advantage, even just tailing the wolves into your opponent's lumber camps, just because of the fact you can do some extra damage. It's really, really smart what players were doing back then. I remember this was the final game. This was the deciding match, really. And here comes the spearman now. Where's he going to run to? He's not going to go to the town centre. What are you going to do? Yes, looks like he's going to the lumber camp with those 2 wolves. I remember, if you don't have loom, which Ken does. If you don't have them, you can be quite mistaken, and you can actually potentially lose a few units. Deleting off his spearman there, and this villager here potentially could die if it's not acted on quick enough. And if that scout gets in there as well, quite a bit of damage can be done. That scout getting locked down in there, nearly getting taken out right now, and it looks like that villager will actually die. So quite a successful hit there by Halen. Very smart play. And again, this villager being pulled off the resources he wants. This tower up over here, towering this wood here. Very smart plan. The only real thing being bad about it is the fact that there's another wood pile here that could potentially be used. But there's no extra lumber camp sent up. So unless Halen has enough wood, which he doesn't, he's not going to be able to put that lumber camp up until he's got enough wood to do it. And that's towered, so seems logical. Saying that, we are 500 years away from the end of the game right now. Currently 15 minutes in, and lots of scouts are out for Halen right now. He's going to be able to pick off quite a few of these skirmishes if his control is good. And the spearmen as well, there is quite a few in there, so it could be worth not doing that at all. Again, hitting Halen's wood supply, a really smart plan, mainly due to the fact that, well, he's got to have these farms to support his scouts at this stage. And there we go, actually, villager getting picked off there by Ken, so seeing pretty even. But in a roll of scouts right now, we can see there are quite a few spearmen out from Ken, but there's some areas that are really undefended. Mainly, stone gold mine here. These villages up here could all potentially die quite badly. This one here could be picked off, this one here as well. Saying that though, we do have a massive amount of skirmishes and spears in this area of the base here, just trying to delay the production of this tower, and it looks like he might even be able to pick off a few villages actually if he's not careful. And actually sitting there at the most ingenious spot, being able to do damage while keeping these villages away. I'm sure that Halen is having a lot of trouble trying to get this tower up right now, and Ken establishing quite a good lead right now in the game. He has lost quite a few villages himself, but right now he's going to, and potentially going to lose a few more here actually, and using those crispy clean no damage villages, and here come all of them right now trying to get it. Could see a few villages picked off here potentially, and the tower's still at 83%. Saying that though, there are scouts down at this base over here, losing one villager, potentially a second there. Haven't seen any upgrades on this scout yet. Could lose a third here if the micro is good enough. Get around it and stop it getting into the town center there. And it looks like we're going to see a third. Yes, losing that villager there. Third villager gone there. Have we seen any dead here? Doesn't look like we've seen any die apart from this one over here. Doesn't look like we saw any die over in this area. Looks fairly okay, but we are seeing quite a few defensive towers go up for Halen right now. Quite a smart play idea. Mainly due to the fact, if you look at his resources, gold is forward, his wood's in a bad location. These farms, it's easy to come in on, and we don't see much walling at all. We have seen a small wall from Ken over here, mainly due to the fact that he could have just came in here, killed off all his berry bushes, killed off all his wood. It's not a nice position, really. And here go the scouts again. Are they going to go in here and try and get some damage? Not going to try and pick that spear off? No. Looks like he's just going to be hanging out trying to get some damage. Could be potentially trying to get home to deal with these skirmishes over here. And of course, with that, the armies aren't doing anything. Let's speed things back up. Currently nearly 19 minutes into the game, 470 years remaining. Saying that, we have seen a stable run down right now for Ken over here. He's going to be able to get in quite easily, do a lot of damage with that, mainly due to the fact there's not really a lot of spears out for Halen right now. And if there is, I can't see them. But these scouts, they're going to be able to do a real big amount of damage. That one there getting picked off. It looks like this one here could potentially get picked off as well. Still no upgrades on those scouts. And have we even seen... We haven't even seen fletching yet from Ken. He's going completely forward with this attack. I don't think he even has a blacksmith up saying that. No, he does not. More towers going up on the offensive here, trying to keep this wood completely under his control, and I'm interested to see what he's going to do to try and deal with his wood, just the fact that he's got none. Watchtower is going up, and of course here come the scouts to try and deal with these skirmishes. Naturally as well, these spears will get picked off quite well by towers and villages, but these scout cavalry, they just absolutely destroy skirmishes. As we all know, that's one thing that has not changed. This tower up here finally going up, so he's going to be able to fend off this attack. And saying that, let's speed it back up. Tower is going up over here to get off this wood source again, which is going to be really painful for Halen if this tower goes up, mainly due to the fact that, well, he's going to have no wood left, and if he goes to one, it's going to be severely open. Scouts still trying to sit around and do some damage, but taking quite a bit of damage on them. They are starting to look quite low HP'd. Saying that, though, we are seeing a bunch of scouts run into the back for Halen, and here we go. Could potentially see some villagers sniped quite well. And looks like we've seen the garrison town center there. This villager being quite injured, and it looks like this one here will be picked off. If he decides to send all his scouts towards it, this is going to be close. One more. Oh, just losing that villager. Gonna lose a second one. Looks like he's losing another one over here. And you can see just how much villager harassment goes on in this game. It's less about destroying your opponent in feudal age and more about killing off your opponent's villagers. And if we actually look, Halen and I am not even going up to the castle age yet, not even considering it. So the days of like the early castle, like if you watch Viper play, he goes to castle relatively early in all of his games, unless there's a lot of feudal pressure on him. So it's a style that's more being developed newly, which is something that I think is really interesting, and it's always good to note these things. But lots of long feudal wars in these lower games, just because they just kept putting on the feudal pressure. Feudal units were 100% expected. Fast castles every now and then, you'd have to stonewall yourself in, of course, but apart from that, not a lot. Saying this, Halen's still in the score lead, even though there's still this army and he's being cut down on places he can actually gather resources. But Halen killing off a lot of villages everywhere for I Am Cannon. The bodies are all disappearing into the sand as they do during the time. Anyway, it looks like this tower over here might not go up. These spears going to be doing a lot of damage to these scout cavalry. Saying that, they do have the bloodlines upgrade, going to be a lot more helpful, and getting picked off here. Looks like these villagers are just here to soak up some damage. And it looks like these spears will be dealt with, saying that these skirmishers should get picked off very, very quickly. Villagers will be able to take out this watchtower, because as we do know, villagers do get a pretty decent bonus against buildings. And goodbye skirmishers right now. Still no fletching or upgrades on them at all. Spearmen, exactly the same deal, no upgrades. So it's just a full-out mass units at this stage. Halen's still being in front of the score, naturally due to the fact that he's taking down this tower now. That's going to give him a nice score boost. And the fact is as well, he's been able to do quite a bit of damage with them. Scouts moving in for I Am Ken, but of course not going to be able to do too much. And there goes the defensive tower for Halen. It looks like he could actually be in a little bit of trouble here. These villagers going to get picked off by looks at already on low HP, and it looks like this scout might be able to run in and try and get one. No, go for the villagers with the low HP. Come on, turn around and kill it. You can take it. Yes, smart, good play. And there we go, losing that one. Potentially could lose another one of these, actually. And that scout getting out of there just in time. All these scouts still with the pressure coming on from them. No defenses going up back at base for Ken right now. And again, trying to keep this forward pressure on. It looks like we are going to see a little bit more harassment here. But I think that Halen's going to be able to mop this one up with too much trouble. He's currently 400 points ahead, and we're currently 388 years from away of the finish and 26 minutes into the game. Being quite interesting so far. 26 minutes, I don't think either player is starting to go castle yet. It looks like I Am Ken will be going up as soon as he has the gold count, which he really needs to get up right now. And there we go. Is he going to hit that up button? Yes, going up to castle for Ken. And Halen, what are you doing? Looks like she's starting to save up right now. Needs that food count, though. Haven't seen a market or anything drop down yet, because he's not going to be selling off any resources or trying to buy any resources. Something that I found really interesting. Again, we're in quite a bit of a stalemate here, so let's speed things up again. And Scout's trying to pick off some more villages by the looks of it. Will be intercepted by these spears though, and naturally going to be able to outrun them. Looks like we are seeing the stone wall go down by I Am Ken. Something has not changed here. And Scout's going around the back. He might be able to pick off a villager or two. This spearman going to be on point though, going to be able to try and do some damage. There we go, one of those scouts getting out there with quite low HP. Still not seeing too much of a push from Ken right now. Still trying to go up. Halen as well, going up of course. And there we go, Ken is already up right now at 29 minutes into the game. Quite a fair while away. But these scouts over here still looking to score some villagers points. And looks like they will get through, and they might be able to pick one up over here. The blacksmith finally going down because he's going to be able to get those two upgrades. And what are we going to see from Halen right now? Looks like we have seen the double stable into knights right now, as well as knights from I Am Ken, which is a really interesting play. Neither players are really going for cavalry archers yet. The play at this stage in the game was still really purposed around knights. Of course, having that bloodline upgrade is going to mean a lot, but looking at the upgrades, Halen's definitely got the upgrade advantage here. He's got one attack, one armor, whereas just Ken has bloodlines, and that's it. So it looks like though Halen's going to just be outmassed here and taken out by the looks of it. These towers, of course, going to be able to put on a little bit of extra damage, but of course with that 2+2 armor, which is just 2 at the moment, not going to be able to do a great deal, and these spears should be able to fend these knights off for the moment. And I wouldn't be surprised actually, we just keep seeing more and more spears just being created. Lots of knights being queued up at the stables right now. Same goes for I Am Ken. There are a few knights actually moving out for Halen right now, and he might be able to do quite a bit of damage with these if he gets in, of course. There are quite a few pikes stationed around I Am Ken's base, and that's just a smart idea. The town centre is going down for I Am Ken. Are we seeing another one yet? Yes, we are seeing one right over here for Halen. Are we seeing another? Nope. Just the one town centre each right now. Saying that though, Halen is going to be able to afford quite a few more by the stone, and still only that +1 on Ken, so we can see that Halen still definitely has an advantage in tech, but he's just being outmassed really badly right now, and I'm surprised. How many stables are you producing off? One? I can only see one stable right now. How many we got for Halen? We've just got the one blacksmith there, and the three stables right now. Halen taking just control of this game nice and quickly. We're only seeing that one stable though for I Am Ken, which is really an interesting idea. Looks like this villager here might just get picked off. Ken not paying enough attention to his town center, and this one will get away. Pikemen are moving in. These villagers over here potentially could be done a lot of damage to, actually. And again, saying that, we've got the night fight over here again, and keeping this hill bonus, of course, in the best favor that you can. And doing quite a bit of damage there by the looks of it. So let's speed it back up, and watch these knights just disappear all over the map. Again, over here, trying to get a little bit more harassment. Over here, trying to deal with this knight influx over here. And, of course, these pikes are dealing with these guys. And at the moment, we're kind of in a boom game. We're seeing another town center go up for Ken, putting him on a total of 3. Another one finally going up for Halen as well, which means that, well, this area is going to be quite well defended, which is always a plus. And I know there's a lot of attacking things going on the map right now that I'm not really looking at. And it's just because it's really little hit and run kind of stuff, which that's no real biggie to point out. Of course, it is actually a great micro by Halen right now, just attacking everywhere that he can, and the same goes for I Am Ken right now. But saying that, I Am Ken, 1,000 points behind, and we know it is a score limit victory game. So right now, Ken's going to be feeling the pressure. If he doesn't get his economy going right now, going to be in a lot of trouble in the late game there. Especially at this stage, it's only 36 minutes in and you're 1,000 points behind. Actually, no, sorry, you're 6,000, 7,000, 8,000 points behind right now. That's a lot. Halen's absolutely destroying the economy by the looks of it. But of course, Halen has picked off so many villages. Current population, 95 for Halen, and I Am Ken, what are you on? Only on 74, so there's a lot of the difference there. These pikemen will be picked off by these knights, but of course, they're not going to be as effective as, well, as cost effective as you really want them to be. Still no extra upgrades on those knights, but of course, Ken going to be starting to feel the pressure by these ones here. We are actually seeing a second barracks go up for Ken, mainly meaning that he's going to need more pikemen to defend. Of course, these archer rangers aren't going to, and the fact there's a stable over here, it's not going to make it easy to really produce. These knights, of course, slowly getting picked off by towers, and that one only has 8 more HP. And knight over there deciding to try and take on that tower. Over here as well, starting to pick up some villages. Looks like he might actually get that one. No, getting away there just in time. The spearmen are moving in, and that knight will be taken down. There we go. This one over here as well, I'm expecting these spears, yes, to take it down. Losing a villager there, though, and not good at all. And here come the knights by the look of it. I think the best place to probably attack is going to be this gold mine here, first away from 2 town centers, or try and sit around here and trap those villagers in. Going to be a really interesting thing to try and see where he decides to attack. Same goes for Ken right now. This area of, well, Halen at this point, it's pretty much a fortress. There's a lot of towers up to defend. Town centers on all the major resources. Seeing a 4th town center come up for Halen now on this stone pile. Saying that though, we are seeing Ken's now only 700 points behind, so he is starting to catch up, which is always helpful. And Halen doing some more damage over here. Might take out this villager. Yes, losing that one there. Losing that one as well. Losing this one there, by the looks of it. Losing a knight as well in the fray. And the villagers here could potentially be taken out again. Looks like these farming villages in the middle here will be the ones that he goes for. And nope, just getting out of there in time. This one here though, looking close. Yes, just getting out of there. So far we've got good play, and we're actually hearing the monk sound right now. Where's the monk? Monk's out by Halen right now. Something again that's quite out of place in this kind of areas. Monks again weren't a really big used unit. Of course against knights, so you can do a lot of damage with them. Right now though, Halen does have a great lead in the game, picking off a lot of his opponent's villages, going up to an 800 point lead, and it looks like this town center will go up as well, so we're going to be seeing quite a big boom right now from Halen. He's on 245. That's quite a few town centers compared to his opponents. 1, 2, how many are we seeing? 3. Looks like going for the 4th one now, walling himself in though, so he's going to have quite a little bit more defense. Saying that, there are quite a few knights in here already, and these ones not knowing what to do right now. But of course, another barracks going up, making it 4 barracks to get those pikemen out. Really need to start getting some cost-effective kills in there. And of course, Halen's economy at this point, it's pretty much untouchable. If you look at all the towers around right now, and you look at the town centers where they all are, it's really defensively laid out. He's done quite a good job just keeping this base foolproof. And it's no wonder that he's got such a good lead in the game already. These knights, of course, being pushed away by these pikemen, currently having the +1 on them, mainly due to the fact he got them for the knights. And it looks like there was quite a few knights actually killed off over here, which isn't good for Halen, of course. It will help close that score gap, though, for Ken. And saying this, again, a few more little skirmishes over here. And the knights, of course, you guys better upgrades. Both players sit on the same upgrades at this stage. And let's speed things back up, I guess. These knights just retreating out of here. No cavalry archers used in this game at all. I don't think we've really seen archers used at all. I think we've seen quite a few skirmishes, if you want to classify them as an archer. But the archer actual unit not being used much at all. And here we go again, just try and take out a few more buildings. May as well. Everything you can get in this game is going to lead up to points. And of course, in this game, points means victory. And I'm surprised we haven't seen more upgrades, but like I've said, it really comes down to the fact that people really want just damage at this point. They want mass units over mass upgrades. So a lot of pikemen actually coming in now for Iron Ken. Of course, they will be picked off quite quickly by the towers, but saying that, they've got the +2 armor on them now. And these knights are actually going to be in quite a bit of trouble because they do have that +2, and that means they're going to be quite well defended against, well, melee attacks and, of course, arrow attacks. So it means they're going to be able to take a little bit more punishment before they finally die off. And looks like there was a town center trying to go up on this wood here, but Halen catching it nice and quickly, going to be able to take out those villages if these spears don't interrupt too much. Saying that, some of these are on quite low health, and there might be a bit of damage actually done, and he might actually get caught in here. Another village, that's 3 villages down again for Halen, doing a lot of damage here. And saying that, he's keeping the economy harassment on as well, taking out another 3 there, and potentially a 4th here. And that 4th villager, will he go down? Yes, he will. Halen just doing an amazing job of keeping the pressure on right now. I am Ken, of course, having lots of pikemen out on the field, which we know are just a hard counter tonight. But Halen abusing their low speed and lack of maneuverability to get inside the base there and really do some damage. Seeing the Siege Workshop go up for I am Ken, though, so he's going to be going for damage right now by the looks of it. Again, a lot of pikemen still out for Halen, getting that first armor upgrade, getting no more upgrades on those knights still. And it looks like these knights actually will pick off these pikemen over here, mainly due to the fact that, again, there is quite a few pikes mixed in for the opposing team. And while Siege Workshop is up here, Mangonel is being created, quite an interesting unit to be going for. But of course, they can get damage onto town centers without being hit, which is a really big plus. And looks like these buildings are starting to go down right now. Saying that, though, we do have a massive amount of pikemen down here that are killing off a lot of knights and helping close the gap behind Ken. Saying that, though, 1,300 points still behind. Halen looking to be in a pretty comfortable position. Honestly, if he wanted to, he could probably sit back and just boom the rest out. 145 years remaining on the clock, 46 minutes in, and it's starting to look like Halen's going to be able to take this one without too much trouble. And actually, let's check if anyone's upping. Ken is not, Halen is not, doesn't look like they're going to. And this Mangonel actually going to be able to potentially do a lot of damage to these pikemen. Won't get one good hit. Still not doing enough, bugger. Well, what can you do? Still, Halen pushing in really hard, keeping up all that aggression that he has been the entire game, just playing super aggressively, and saying that, maxing out on his population right now. Now is the time to attack his opponent. There is a Siege Workshop up on the front. It does have 3 battering rams in it. This could potentially be a game-ending attack, and by that I mean not even wait till the end that the score's over. We could actually see the resignation of I am Ken if these do too much damage. But of course, at this point, it's still starting to look pretty unwinnable for Ken right now. He's going to have to either do a lot of damage with the next push he does, or do a really, really cost-effective base defense. Here come battering rams, 5 of them out in play right now, supported by knights and pikes. Of course, no spears out on the field, and no knights for, no spears. Heaps of spears out on the field, but no archers out to help deal with that spears that are out for Halen right now. And again, once those knights get in there, they are going to be able to pick off those pikes. As we do know, it's not cost effective, but it does work. And here come the battering rams by the looks of it. Halen could really go for some archers though, or even some scorpions, just to try and help pick off all these units here. More barracks going up for I am Ken right now, but like I said, this could potentially be a game ender right here. And starting to put that damage on that mill there. Stable will be going down after that. The pikemen are moving forward. Knights will be taken out very quickly by the spears if he's not careful. And of course, saying that, there is just a little bit more harassment going on. There is another town centre going up over here. next to this watchtower, and here comes the push by the looks of it. Another town center up right now, still at 200 population. Manages to max out and keep the damage while moving these barracks to the front. Definitely a smart idea. Of course, going to be able to bring these pikemen out. And it looks like these rams just do not have, he just does not have an answer for these rams right now. All he's got is just pikemen to try and deal with this. And as we know, pikemen don't do a lot of damage in general, so it's going to be quite hard to take out these rams that have 175 hit points. Saying that, we're getting really close to only 100 years left on the clock. I think, though, that I Am Ken will defend this push off. Probably will lose his barracks in the defense, but, you know, it's not his town center. No big wave of units from Halen coming in yet. We are seeing a castle actually go up right here. This is really going to hurt Ken. He's going to lose both these archer ranges, a siege workshop, and potentially at the town center if he has the range upgrades for them. But, of course, and only 100 years left in the game, guys. It's getting really close. And it looks like I've said, Halen might not be able to continue this push. We do have scout, light cavalry coming in now, but of course against pikes, we know how that's going to end. But mainly, I would say, just due to the fact that he's going to be able to pick off villages with them, like we can see here. He's getting absolutely dominated by those pikemen. Of course, trash beats trash, as we all know, depending on the counter you use for it. Town center here going to go down. Knight over here doing a little bit more damage, surprisingly actually taking on quite a few of those pikemen, but of course getting picked off here, and saying that the score lead's only going down to 1,000 points. This push isn't working out the best for Halen right now, but there's only 88 years left in it, so it's going to be over quite soon, which means that this push is going to be doing its job, and that's going to just not allowing Ken to expand, get that extra resources up. Saying that though, he has got another town center up over here and here, streaming in a few knights, but nothing ridiculous. It looks like he's actually pulling out of here, mainly due to that. And Halen going up in score as well, closing the distance between right now. It's only 700 points in it. Might not be the best time to go up to Imperial, because of course that does cost you quite a few points, unless, of course, you get there in time. In that case, it'll be absolutely beneficial to you. Your economy will be much better, your units will be much better. Everything you can do, everything you can throw is just going to be great. Ken not even going up, having quite a bit of gold available to him. But again, not really being able to use that because he doesn't have the food and wood he really needs. Wouldn't be surprised if we see a castle actually come down in this vicinity here to try and, well, fend off any extra attacks. But there are some battering rams up here already bringing down this wall, so it looks like Ken's going to be in a bit of trouble. Still, less than 1,000 points now, only 600 points in it. It's starting to close the gap right now for Ken. But of course, as we do know, but he doesn't know, Halen is going up to the Imperial Age, which means that score bonus is going to be there as soon as he wants it. Even if it gets to really late, he can always cancel that and just get that upgrade. Siege Workshop is going up. Pikemen, again, being used in mass to pick off this battering ram. And, of course, if we look at it right now, let's actually see, what can we see in the village account? 19 idle villages right now for, who have we got? Halen. And if I Am Ken, what do we have, if I can actually get there? 21, so quite a few idle villages actually for both players. But considering they're both maxed, not the biggest deal in the world. If we check, I can't even see the whole map, so there's no reason to check the military map. But, saying this, now the pikeman push is here. Knights will be flooded into the economy to try and do some damage. They have got all their upgrades on them now, finally. Ken not getting that +1 defense on there, the extra +1, really going to help out Halen in this combination if it comes down to Knight versus Knight. And as the score lead's only gone down to 300 points, it's getting really close right now. It's getting really tense. Ken's starting to do a lot of damage, actually. He's just picking off these scout cavalry and knights just so cost effectively right now. Saying that though, we do have the forward castle going up. The battering ram actually looks like it's not hitting it, mainly due to the fact this village is still here. But this castle could actually change it right now. 50 years left, guys. We're nearly there, nearly at the end. And saying that, only 400 points in the game right now. And this castle will be going up right now for Halen. This is going to be able to do a lot of damage. Battering rams are on top of it, which means battering ram versus battering ram may happen. We are seeing a castle go up here on the high ground. And saying that, upgraded, is only up by 800 points still. It's still anybody's game if you can get that damage to, well, non-damage ratio up. And the castle here just really to prevent time, I reckon. But losing a castle to your opponent, it does hurt your score quite a bit. This barracks over here, what's he actually shooting with the arrows out of this? Can't even see. But it looks like it will go down to these battering rams right now. And just saying that, Halen just has complete map control. This is amazing. He's got his opponent stuck in this area here. Losing this just area over here is really going to hurt the amount of wood he has, because of course he has cut out of this position. This one over here is going to be extremely harassable between here. And of course, here comes the light cavalry up to this location, going to be able to do quite a bit of damage with them. And again, it looks like he's losing his castle here. Only 400, 500 points in it right now. Staying really close still. Halberdier has been done, though, for Halen. This is the beginning of the end right here. 29 years remaining, and your opponent's out-teching you. Not a lot you can really do. You're going to be really careful, though, how he spends those resources. Because, of course, if he does get a lot of upgrades right now, before they research, before the end of the game, it could really affect his score. But saying that, oh, is there only still 400 points? There's only 300 points in it. God, this is close. Halberdier is, of course, still trying to get that damage and having that +2 armor. More knights moving in now. Battering rams coming out for Ken right now, but it might just be a little bit too late. 700-point lead still in the way of Halen right now, starting to get that lead back. Capped ram has been done, so he's going to be able to take out most of these rams actually with a lot of ease. But losing buildings, of course, really does hurt your score. 700 points still in, 18 years remaining. And are we actually... Ken, don't tell me you're going up. No, he's not going up. He knows better than that right now. He knows he just needs to be massing units and getting the damage in there. It looks like these rams will be taken out though. And again, Halen back to that 1,000-point lead. It looks like the game will be in just complete favour of Halen right now. 13 years remaining on this one. Another castle trying to go up here on a defensive location. Of course, not being able to be run up against around this unit is just absolutely smart. And of course, the fact that it's going to be able to fire downhill, which is just absolutely great. 10 years remaining, lots of these units over here getting killed off, extending that lead to 1,500 points. And it looks like this is going to be game. There's no way to come back from this. 7 years remaining, and 6. Still doing a lot of damage over here. 5 left. Currently 1,600 points above his opponent. It looks like this is going to be it. 4, 3... 2, 1, nearly there. Pushing in with these units over here. Still 1 year left in the game, and the game will go to Halen right now. Nothing they can do about it. So, Halen played an astonishing game this one. This is a 2002 WCG game, was the final. So, thanks for watching, guys, and I hope you enjoyed this really old game. I hope it was good fun to watch. I absolutely loved this game. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next